It essentially only took care of the parentage. It excluded the child nausea and established Mr. Rodriguez's paternity over Nala. They are twins, both born on the same date. We've had a number of tests beforehand, correct? Um, as for besides that, I believe the issues the court would need to address today to finalize, and the state would like a final hearing order, Your Honor. I think that's definitely doable. Name change, although I should note for the court that that Nala was born in 2009, so it's pretty so she's what
Oh yeah, we would need
16.
her permission to change. Yeah, so it's too, and that we hadn't planned for that, so we just leave it as is. Because again, you change them, it's either what 12 or 14. We have to have on that point in that ladder, had that ladder checked with the child. So, and we haven't done that. So the the name will remain as is. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. And so then we need to discuss conservatorship, visitation, current child support, current medical support, and retroactive support. As for conservatorship and visitation, state takes no position and has no interest in that. State does have an interest in the current child support and medical support. And state will be getting guideline, hopefully, through Mr. Rodriguez's testimony. And if he has any documents, Mr. Tanaka has any documents, that would be great as well. Retroactive support, Your Honor. At the time, last time we had a hearing, I said that the state would probably be asking for it, even if Ms. Mack did not. I have looked further at our case, and I've determined, Your Honor, that we will not be asking for it, except, well, yeah, we will not be asking for it. If Ms. Mack does ask for it, then state will not object, but we will not be requiring that.
All right, Mr. Tanaka.
Thank you, Your Honor. My name is Jonathan Tanaka. I represent the respondent, Mr. Rodriguez. I think we're generally in agreement. I think we would like to get a final hearing done today. It's been going on for so long. Lots of temporary orders, lots of DNA tests. I think for everybody involved, it would be good to get some finality, be able to check that off and move on to the next step. And we would be in agreement with the state's position about retro. We would ask that the court deny any request for retro. I think today you
That's
will.
not what he said, Mr. Tanaka. The state was trying to hint around. The state doesn't have any monetary interest in whether or not there's retroactive child support. Obviously, under Texas law, that's still in play, and they were just saying they're neither yay or nay on it. Okay, sorry.
I understand, Your Honor. I understand. And we would just be asking for no retro, regardless of who asks for it. Today, you will hear that the child and really the twins, it is an interesting situation where they are twins but different dads. So you will hear today that my client only met the child's mother one time. It was a one-night stand. Probably two one-night stands happen on the same night if there's two different dads. But he was never told that she was pregnant, never was involved at all, really until he got served with this recently. So there was no knowledge, and
that's really not relevant to retro, sir. Yeah, it is. It's not. I'm sorry. It is relevant, but as far as retro is concerned, it's not anywhere close to a guiding factor. But go. So if you got something else you want to add to that, sir, please do so. But keep going. I'm sorry. I want you to be thorough and tell the court every possible reason you're asking for it. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. And we'll go into that maybe at closing once more testimonies come up. We'll compare and contrast that against the Texas Family Code. But really, in short, what we're asking for today is, number one, that parents be named as joint managing conservators. My client is okay with the child's mother being the primary caretaker of the child. We are asking for independent rights and duties. We were asking for a last name change, but if Your Honor doesn't want to do that, that is okay. We are asking that the parents alternate taxes each year. And as far as visitation goes, probably the standard possession order will work. We are asking that dad pay for travel to Texas and then mom pay for return travel once the visitation is over. We are asking for a geo restriction for mom to Bell and contiguous counties. We are asking for electronic communication. We propose Mondays, Wednesdays and Saturdays from 7 to 8 p.m. Central Time. We are asking that the parties be ordered to communicate via app close. Child support, we'll dive into that more, I'm sure. Would like the court to know that he is married, my client is, and is supporting one other child. So that'll have to be taken into consideration when calculating that. And we can also discuss health and dental. And that is all. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Rodriguez, Ms. Mack, I need for you to turn your videos and unmute yourselves and raise your right hands, and let's get you on the oath, and let's start getting some testimony on all these items. All right. Do you both solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you're going to give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth will help you?
Yes.
All right, you're both officially on the oath, and I'm going to go ahead and allow the state to call you as witnesses, and obviously Mr. Tanaka will have the opportunity to cross-examine. So the state can call your first witness, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. State calls Tonia Mack. What is your full name?
Tonia Mack. Tonia Marie Ann Mack.
So, besides Naja, who we've already excluded, what is the full name of the child in this case?
Nala Marie Mack.
And when was Nala born?
August 16, 2009.
So how old is she?
She will be 16 in August.
All right, so let's discuss health and dental insurance. So what kind of health insurance is Nala currently on?
She's on Right Care right now.
Is Right Care a private insurance or
It's Medicaid.
and do you have access to any private dental insurance?
No.
And what county do you live in, ma'am?
I live in Bell County.
And as far as you know, what county does Mr. Rodriguez live in?
I don't know what county he lives in.
So let's talk about visitation. So when's the last time Mr. Rodriguez has met with Nala?
Never.
Do you have any safety concerns with Mr. Rodriguez?
I don't know, but I know she's.
Here's the deal, but sir, ma'am, it's got to be something based in fact, not on a feeling or a speculation. You got to tell the court if you got the concerns, what are the basis of those concerns, and the fact that the child and the father don't know each other.
They just don't know each other.
Okay.
And as far as you know, when did Mr. Rodriguez know that that he was the father of Nala?
Well, he knew I was pregnant. I told him I was pregnant since before they even was born.
And so, when have you been married?
I ain't never been married.
And just to make sure, is Mr. Rodriguez, has there ever been an acknowledged paternity for Nala?
No.
So who does Nala live with then?
She lives with me.
And who makes the day-to-day decisions for Nala?
I do.
So where do you know where Mr. Rodriguez currently works?
No, I do not.
Do you know how much he makes?
No, I do not.
Do you know if he has any other children besides Nala?
Yes, I do know that.
So how many?
Far as I heard is one.
And do you know if this other child was is it biologically his or did he adopt it?
No, he didn't adopt it.
So does that mean it's biologically his then?
Yes, sir.
And do you know if that child lives with him or does he pay support?
I don't know.
And when did you and Mr. Rodriguez no longer live with each other?
We never lived with each other.
Now, have you ever heard of retroactive child support?
No, sir.
Your Honor, for efficiency purposes, may I briefly explain it to her?
Go right ahead, please.
So, Ms. Mack, retroactive child support is essentially support that Mr. Rodriguez should have paid but didn't. It's not a punishment. It's just saying he should have paid before he was ordered to be paid. It's under, as Judge Nelson said, it's under his discretion of whether he grants it. Basically, would that be something that you would want?
Yeah.
And so, when roughly would you want? So as another thing,
I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt you. Here's the deal, ma'am. Right now, I've just looked at the court file. It appears that Mr. Rodriguez was served a citation back in September 2023. The court can order child support to start the very next, based on these circumstances, to start the very next month, October of 2023. And the court has the absolute right to go back to 4 years before that date and order back child support. The new child support amounts, not retro, that starts in 2023. It's not a back child support or retro. It's just what the law allows the court to do, and that's what the court normally does, all right? Because that's the way it sets up. However, the court can go back up to 4 years before that date for what's called retroactive, or lay people refer to as back child support. So with that information in hand, ma'am, I'll let the state proceed. Thank you.
Okay.
So based on that, ma'am, are you still interested in retroactive child support?
Yes.
All right. And assuming the court orders current child support and current and cash medical support, when would you prefer that to start? As Judge said, October 1st, 2023, or starting on the 1st of next month, like May 1st, 2025.
You can go by August 2023.
I think it's October, but I'll double check it. Thank you.
Okay.
And yes, Your Honor, I can confirm that it appears that Mr. Rodriguez was served on September 23rd, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So looking back from October 1st, October 1st, 2019 to October 1st, 2023. Do you recall if he has ever given you any cash or expensive goods for the benefit of Nala?
None.
Have you besides this current action, have you made any previous attempts to notify Mr. Rodriguez of his paternity or probable paternity for
No.
Nala?
No.
All right. Thank you very much. Your witness, Mr. Tanaka. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ma'am, couple of quick questions for you. Do you know who the other father is of the other twin?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And is he currently paying any child support to you?
No, he's not.
Okay. And did you notify him when you were pregnant that he was the father?
I didn't know at the time.
Okay. Has there been DNA tests taken of the other child where at some point during her life?
No.
Okay. How do you know he is the father then?
Why is that
Mr. Tanaka, that's not relevant. That's not relevant, sir.
That's not relevant.
He was going to object to it, and I'm sustaining. Let's move on, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Your Honor. Did you ever officially date my client?
We wasn't dating. We was just sexually involved.
Okay. How many times or how long was it?
You know how long that was? It was like 16 years ago.
Okay, so was it just like a one day thing, a one night
No,
stand?
it wasn't a one-day thing.
Uh-huh.
It was a couple of days things.
Couple days, less than a week?
It wasn't less than a week.
It was not?
It was not. Why is that? Why does that matter?
Okay, ma'am, just that is kind of relevant, but again,
Yeah.
Tanaka, just move, again, it's kind of relevant, but it's really, it doesn't have anything to do with child support or anything else at this point, so, but ma'am, answer the question. How long was the relationship? Was it a week, a month, days? What was it, ma'am?
About 2 weeks. About
All
2
right.
weeks.
2
All
weeks,
right,
okay.
to the best of your recollection, that's correct,
Yeah,
ma'am?
yeah, because it's been 16 years ago.
All right, thank you. You may proceed, Mr. Tanaka. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. And ma'am, what do you currently do for work?
I work for KISD. It's a school
Okay.
district.
Yes, ma'am. And what's your position there?
I'm a teacher's aide, and I'm
Okay.
currently going to school.
Okay. Where at?
Weldon University online.
Okay. How many hours do you work at KISD?
From 7 to 8 hours. I work Monday through Friday.
Okay. And do you receive health and dental through your work?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What's the name of the plan?
Blue Cross, Blue Shield Blue Cross.
And have you ever looked into adding your daughters to that?
No.
Would they offer it for your daughters to be covered under that?
Right now they is under another insurance.
I understand, but have you ever reached out and looked into
Yes, I
adding?
have looked into it.
Okay. Do you know how much it would cost?
No.
Okay. Would it be free?
Would it be what?
Would it be free to add your daughters to that?
No. No.
Any idea how much ballpark cost would be?
No.
Okay. And do your daughters also go to KISD then?
Yes, they live in Texas.
No, ma'am, the question was, do they go to, are they in the Killeen Independent School District?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because like I say, I lived in Belton, but I went to Killeen, so, it's
Yeah,
just
they go to Ellison.
all right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the
And-
reason I went to Killeen, because Dr. Ellison made my mom bring me out there because she taught in Killeen. So there you go. You may proceed, Mr. Tanaka.
Thank you, Your Honor. And do you have any other children besides the two girls?
No, I do not.
Okay. And you said you're not currently married, not currently dating. Is that correct?
I'm not married.
Are you dating right now?
Why does
Objection, Your Honor.
matter?
Adams
That
says
one's
relevant.
sustained. It's sustained.
irrelevant?
Okay, ma'am. The state made an objection for you, and the court sustained it. Thank you.
Did you and my client try to plan this pregnancy in any way?
No, sir.
Okay. And you mentioned you told my client that you were pregnant. How did you do that?
Over the phone, he called me.
Okay. How did you know that it was his child?
Because I slept with him around the time frame.
Okay. Did you invite him to the birth of your daughter?
No, he was not nowhere near here. He told me to go get an abortion.
Once the child was born, did you invite him to be involved in the girl's life in any way?
Yes, several
How's-
times.
Okay. Give me some examples, please.
When he called me, I offered him. He talked to my mom when my mom was alive.
Okay. And
We need to clarify that answer a little bit better. So on as many different occasions as you can remember, and then he could let the court know, was it more than 5 times, less
Yeah,
than 5 times?
it was about more than 5 times.
All right, then. And to back to your recollection, ma'am, what were the circumstances? Oh, was it always a phone call? Was there ever face-to-face? What are we talking about here, ma'am?
No, it was always a phone call.
All right.
okay.
And did he and just for the purposes of the me getting some type of calendar on this, was all this within when was the last, how were the children the last time you made the offer?
think it was the last. He called me the last time. Well, he got in contact with me the last time he had his child that he has, his daughter that he has now. And they had to be years ago. I can't even say when they were little. I can't. It's been 16 years almost.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Knocker, go ahead and you can proceed. If you want to go down this path some more, you may, sir. You may proceed. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. So ma'am, was it always him asking for visitation time or FaceTime with the girls, or was it you offering? Was it a mix?
I can't recall. It was a mix. It could have been a mix.
Did you ever let him? Did he ever ask to, hop on Skype, FaceTime, and video chat with the girls?
I think when they were like 1 or 2, he did it.
Okay.
One time.
Okay. Now, after the last hearing, when the court did adjudicate him as the father of Nala, did he try to reach out to you and request like a meetup or a FaceTime call with her?
No face call, but a meetup. I told him we're gonna wait until the court, after the court.
Okay, and why did you refuse that if he's the father?
Because I wanted to wait until the court establish it first.
And is that what you told him in previous times when he tried to have visitation with his daughters?
No.
Did you decline meetups or
No.
visitation?
He just always lied and said he was gonna come down and see them. He always lied. So
Okay. But would you have actually let him have visitation with them?
yeah, back in the day, she's 16 years old now. It's
So
her
what is
decision now.
okay. So what has changed from then to now? Why not let him have
It
any
ain't
visitation?
nothing changed. We're going through the court right now, so I want to do it through the court.
And isn't it true that he offered to send her some gifts and clothes and you refused?
Yeah, I did refuse because she's 16, and that's something you should have asked when she was 4 or 5. He don't know her fashion or nothing.
No further questions, Judge.
All right. Anything on redirect there, Mr. Welch?
No, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am. What are the you say both? Well, I'm only concerned about one right now. The child that we determined is the child in this case. What's her classification? Is she a junior, sophomore,
She's a
freshman? What is it?
sophomore. She's a sophomore,
She's
Your Honor.
all right, and so she's going to graduate in 2 years, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, in 20. So she's on track to do that by 2027.
Yeah,
Right?
2027. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Just trying to get some idea about that. Thank you. All right, then, Mr. Welch, you can call your next witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. State calls Angel Rodriguez. What is your full name?
Angel Anthony Rodriguez Jr.
All right. So, first things first, how are you currently employed?
I'm unemployed.
When was your last job? Oh, could you hear me, sir?
I can't recall. That's many years. About 2 or 3 years.
Did you bring any documentation, like pay stubs or income tax returns, sir?
I don't have any pay stubs, nor do I have any income tax returns because I haven't worked.
What is your highest level of education?
GED.
Do you have any professional licenses?
No, sir.
So you mentioned about how it's been at least 2 or 3 years. Can you recall about how much you made?
Sorry. I hate taking over for lawyers. Sir, are you on any type of disability at this time?
No, but I'm not on. I'm not receiving it as of yet because it's the process.
All right, and what kind of disability have you put in for, sir?
Medically disabled.
All right, we're talking about, we talking about SSDI, we're talking about Social Security, or we talking about, I'm sorry, Jeff is going, it's getting my head.
SSI or SSDI, Your Honor, I believe.
Well, I know what SSDI is. Well, I'm talking about, I'm looking at VA. Are you a military veteran, sir?
No, sir. No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may proceed then. And all right, and sorry, let me do it then. And sir, when did you put it? You have officially put in for SSDI or SSI, correct, sir?
No, I haven't.
You haven't applied at all.
No, because I'm not trying to receive that because I'm trying to get right so I can go back into the workforce and not just depend on a monthly check from the government.
So
And
what? I'm sorry, Your Honor.
And have you been getting any type of workers' comp or something during this time frame, sir?
No.
Okay. All right, you may proceed then, Mr. Welch. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. So what kind of disability are you saying that you have?
A medical disability.
More specifically, what kind of medical disability?
Do I have to answer that? What my medical condition?
Yes, sir.
Congestive heart failure.
Has any doctor diagnosed you with this?
Absolutely. I believe my lawyer has I told him a letter previously signed by him and my doctor. A letter from him.
Besides that, do you have access to private health insurance that could be done for Nella?
No, I'm currently on Medicaid as well.
And what about private dental insurance?
Medicaid. Medicaid provides dental and health coverage, medical health coverage.
All right, sir. So looking at that time period I mentioned before with Miss Mack, October 1st, 2019 to October 1st, 2023. What cash or expensive goods have you given to Miss Mack for the benefit of Nala?
Never, nothing.
All right. So starting in 2019, how were you employed?
2019? Well, that was like COVID.
No, sir, that's 3 years before. I'm sorry, that was the year before COVID. Thank you.
Well, 2019?
Yes, sir.
Unemployed.
All right. What about 2020, sir? What job did you have?
Unemployed.
And 2021?
Unemployed.
And 2022?
Unemployed.
And 2023?
Unemployed.
So, sir, you said before that that it's been 2 or 3 years since you have, last been employed.
Yeah.
But you say now that you were unemployed in 2023. Can you explain for me to help me understand?
2020. I've been medical at least 2-3 years or more.
You've been on medical. What do you mean by that?
Like, I can't go to work. The doctor told me, I don't know if you could receive the letter and you could read exactly what my doctor has explained right there. And you could call him at his office.
All right, sir. So, like I said, what I don't understand is that, you know, you said it's been at least 2 or 3 years since you had the last job, but when I asked you about how you employed in 2023, you know, you told me that you were unemployed. So
So
can you
that
explain
2023 was last year, right?
2 years ago, sir?
Right. And I was unemployed.
All right then, sir.
I mean, you guys could, the government, you could pull it up and see.
Sir, got it, sir.
You could see there's nothing on
Sir,
file for me. No
like
income.
you've answered the question,
Mr.
sir.
Rodriguez, stop. Mr. Rodriguez, here's the deal, sir. And Mr. Tanaka, I may have the opportunity to talk to your client. Listen to the question, answer the question, stop. All right. If your lawyer objects to a question, stop your answer immediately, and the court will rule appropriately. Okay. But you don't get to make the argument. You have counsel, sir. That's what he's there for. So, you know, so the bottom line is listen to the question and answer the question, and we'll get through this one. Thank you, sir.
No problem. You're welcome, Your Honor.
Okay.
All right. So, besides that, do you have any safety concerns with Miss Mack?
No, sir.
Would you be okay with the court ordering, at least for now, for the NALA to for a certain amount of cash medical and NALA to be placed on a government medical program?
Can you repeat that?
Mr. Rush, I think she's already on a government medical program.
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, Your Honor, I think I'll just pass the witness.
Well,
Okay, you can stop, sir. You can stop now.
okay.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment, Mr. Welch. Mr. Tanaka, you're a witness. And I got a quick question, sir. When was the last time that you filed income tax with the United States federal government, sir? Do you remember what the last year you did that?
Well, I filed jointly with my wife, but there's no income for me.
All right,
It's only
so
her-
you
it's her
I'm
income.
sorry. Okay, stop. So you had filed income tax with your wife jointly for how many of the last years, sir? I'm sorry, I'll back it up. When did you and your current wife get married?
2009.
All right then. And for the time frame involved in this case, for the 4 years prior to this service of citation, which is back all the way up to 2019, sir, you filed income tax with her for all those years, correct, sir?
No, probably not those years, but at least this year and last year. I can't recall all the rest of the years, but this year and last year I could recall.
Okay. So all right then, thank you, sir. Your witness, Mr. Tanaka.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, just a couple of quick questions. You heard the testimony of Miss Mack, and I just want to touch on some of that. I guess first question, were you ever in a dating relationship with Miss Mack?
No.
You heard her testimony that you guys were together for about 2 weeks. Is that accurate?
No.
To your recollection, what did that actually look like?
Like 2 days.
And did you have any contact with her before or after those 2 days?
A few times.
You heard her testimony. She said that she did tell you that she was pregnant. Is that true?
Yes.
And
When she first,
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
when she first found out she had was pregnant, you know, I told her you know, maybe she should get a abortion because I knew how promiscuous she was.
Okay, whoa, stop. Do not make any personal comments about the other person, sir. Understood?
No problem. Yes, sir.
All right. That was a bridge too far. Don't do it again. Thank you.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, so she did tell you she was pregnant. Did she believe it was your child?
That's what she said.
Okay, and did you think it was your child?
Not at all.
Okay, and why not?
I was only with her those 2 days. I mean, I just didn't believe that it was mine. Not at all. Up until we got the results back. I still didn't believe it.
And in the time, I mean, again, the girls are about 16. Did she ever ask you to take a DNA test, just like an informal one between the two of you at any point?
No, I would tell her, let's take up DNA test, and she would be like, what, why for? She would get upset. She would get upset that I wanted to take the
Ma'am,
DNA
stop,
test.
stop. Just a second, sir. I'm sorry. Ma'am, don't make any comments in the background. This is his testimony. He gets a chance to tell the court his side of the story. So don't do that again, ma'am. Thank you.
And sir, I'll just repeat the question again. So you did actually ask her, hey, let's both get a DNA test and see if we're actually the parents,
Yeah, but she would get upset and she didn't want to do that.
Okay. Do you recall how many times you requested a DNA test?
Twice or 3 times.
As the girls got older, she called you when she was pregnant, but after she gave birth, as the girls got older, did she reach out to you over those years?
The only time would be I reached out to get a DNA test, but she would just get upset.
Well, explain what you mean by getting upset. Would she say things?
He was like dumbfounded as to why I would want a DNA test, why I wouldn't think that it's not my child, like that, things like of that nature.
Okay. Did she ever ask you for help or support during this case? Or before this case, as the girls were growing up and all of that?
No, she would just no. I don't think she'd ever directly ask me for anything.
Okay. Did she ever invite you to be a part of the child's life growing up before the court matter was filed?
Oh, well, we wouldn't never be able to get that far in conversation because, like I said, I would call and be like, before I do anything, I would prefer testing, and she would just get upset, and it would just be like chaos on the phone.
Okay. Would she like cuss you out, or what are we talking when you say
Oh
chaos?
yeah, she would like verbally assault me.
Okay. Now, after the judge did adjudicate you as the father of Nala in January of this year, did you try to reach out and meet up with your
Yeah.
daughter for the first time?
Yeah, immediately. Immediately, I reached out to somebody to give her my number so she could call me. It was actually my father's wife, and so they gave her my number to call me. I mean, so she could call me, and then I think it was like I think she called that same day, but I'm not too sure because she called from a private number. So the private number called again the next day, and I answered the phone. And I told her, that I didn't, because when she called, like the tone of her voice was like kind of aggressive and like combative. And I told her like I didn't want any issues, and like me and her don't have to argue, or I just want to make it about the child. You know what I'm saying? So, and whatever feelings I was telling her, explaining to her whatever feelings that she might have, you know, um, You know, that's okay to have that feelings, but that has nothing to do with the child and, you know, the children. You feel me? So I told her I wanted to come visit her and bring clothes and whatever, you know, just things, you know, that a father would do. And she told me, she
Okay, here's the deal,
asked
sir.
me,
Stop. I'm sorry, sir. You cannot testify to anything the child. You're still talking about the child told you this, correct?
no, Miss Mack.
Okay, I'm sorry. I misunderstood who you were talking to. Sorry. Thank you. You may
Yes,
proceed.
I never got to speak to the child because Miss Mack
Okay.
asked me after I told her I wanted to come visit and bring gifts and stuff. She asked me, was I gonna bring gifts for both of the children? And I said, no. Why would I do that? Because that's not even my child. The court has
Okay,
determined
Mr.
that.
Tanaka, let's move on from this, please. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yes, Your Honor. So to sum up, you did try to reach out, but she essentially refused. Is that correct?
Yes,
And you weren't able to talk to your daughter. Is that correct? Yes or no?
correct. She actually told me that my daughter doesn't want to talk to me or see me at all.
Okay. And is it true that you were currently married?
Yes, I'm married.
Okay. And do you and your wife have any children together?
One daughter,
Okay. And how old is the daughter?
9 years old.
Okay. Do you have any other children besides the daughter and now Nala?
No.
Okay. Is there anything that you would like to tell the judge?
Just no.
You are asking for visitation under the standard possession order. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you would like some electronic communication. So if you're not there physically with your daughter, you would like sometimes to be able to hop on the phone and talk to her FaceTime or a phone call, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And does Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays from 7 to 8 p.m. Central Time work for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Welch, you're a witness again.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do have a few questions. So what state do you live in, Mr. Rodriguez?
South Carolina.
And so back in 2023, were you living in South Carolina?
Yes.
So and then I guess looking at the time period of 2019 to today, have you been in South Carolina the entire time?
Yes.
And just to make sure, the daughter that you have with your wife, is that the only other child you have besides Nella?
Yes.
And that child is biologically yours or you adopted her?
Biologically mine.
And that child does live with you?
Yes.
Pass a witness, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Tanaka.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, sir. Again, I'm a little confused here still. So, because I'm still trying to figure out when's the last time you actually had paid employment, sir. I think most people will remember the last time they actually got up every morning and went to work. So
Yeah, that's why it's been years. I can't recall.
all right, so has it been more than 10 years? All right, let's back up, sir. When were you first diagnosed with your heart problem, sir, by a medical doctor?
2020 or 21.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Anything else? Any other witnesses at this time, Mr. Welch?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Tanaka, any other witnesses or anyone else any witness you wish to recall?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll go ahead and let the state clear back, and Mr. Tanaka make a closing statement and allow Ms. Mack to also make a closing statement if she wishes. I was trying my best to make this a final hearing today, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that with some of the requests before this court, and I may be looking at appointing an attorney ad litem to actually interview the child, because again, she's going to be 16 in August, and like I say, she's going to graduate in 2 years. So within the next 2.5 years, this child is officially going to be an adult. So she obviously has a say so and a lot of this and what she may or may not want to do. So please keep it in mind that I'm probably looking at making everything else here final today, but I may be looking at an ad litem to actually sit down and talk with the child to see what her wishes may be one way or the other without either parent being present. So again, that's something I may be looking at doing, but for right now, I want to go ahead and let y'all both make a closing statement and closing arguments, and then I'll let the mom make a closing statement and closing argument if she wishes. So I'll start with you, Mr. Tanaka, then go to the state, and then to Ms. Mack. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon. My name is Jonathan Tanaka. Again, I represent the respondent, Mr. Rodriguez, in this matter. Your Honor, we are asking for that child support not be set awarded in this case. You've heard testimony from my client how he's been suffering with a very serious issue, congestive heart failure, since 2020. Really has been unable to work for the past couple of years. He testified it's been since 2019. You know, if he is able to recover from this, or get healed and is able to work, yes, I think coming back to this in a modification a couple years down the road and adding or ordering child support would be warranted. But I think from testimony today, I don't think current or retro is warranted. Let's talk about retro. We would ask that the court deny the state's request for it. In the Texas Family Code, section 154131, there's some factors that a court should look at before ordering retro. And I'd like to just discuss these briefly. The first one is whether the father had actual or constructive knowledge of his paternity. Really, in this case, he had neither. One night stand, maybe 2 days max. No really indication. Yes, mother did reach out to him one time in a phone call, but since then, there's been no communication at all, no pregnancy updates, no birth updates, no child's first birthday updates, nothing like that. He didn't have knowledge of his paternity. Second factor is whether the mother attempted to notify the father of his paternity. She didn't. She did call him, and my client said, "Hey, let's take a DNA test." He said this multiple times, and she refused. Why? Perhaps she had doubts herself too. It's hard to say, but in any case, he tried to do the right thing, tried to get some, clarity, and she declined on multiple occasions to get a DNA test. The third is whether the father attempted to avoid child support obligations. Well, he really couldn't avoid an obligation because he didn't know that was his child. Miss Mack thought both girls were his daughters, potentially. Maybe she thought the other father was their father. In any case, he's not trying to hide anything. He just didn't know that he actually did have one daughter out of the two twin girls. And then the fourth factor is whether an imposition of retroactive would impose an undue financial hardship. And we would argue it would. My client, because of his, health conditions, congestive heart failure, it's a pretty serious condition. It sounds like he's just not in a financial position to pay a large retroactive sum for a child that he really didn't even know about until the DNA test came back in, early this year. January 2025 is when he was adjudicated to be the father. So we would respectfully request the court decline requests for retroactive child support. Also to not set up any current child support at this time until he's able to recover from, this situation that has been going on for quite some time. And then perhaps, yes, put him on some child support at that time, but not at this point. We are asking that the parents be named as joint managing conservators with independent rights and duties. Child's last name can stay the same. We are asking to alternate taxes for the child each year.
No.
Visitation again, we are asking for the standard possession order to be awarded to my clients. Alternate, or split travel expenses my client can pay to pick up the child. If visitation is granted, mom can pay for the return trip back from South Carolina. Geo restriction to Bell and contiguous. Electronic communication Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays between 7 and 8 p.m. Central. Communicate via app close. And I believe that was it. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Welch.
Yes, Your Honor. So the state is asking for the court to order current child support, current medical support. So, well, I guess starting with Your Honor, the state originally wanted to make this a final order, final hearing. But based off of what I've heard, Your Honor, the state would prefer a temporary order with current child support and current medical support based off of minimum wage. And then for the court to order essentially Mr. Rodriguez to provide income information, like I believe he mentioned that he had last time he filed jointly was this year and last year. If he provide that and any other kind of income information, and state would like court to order Miss Mack provide government medical for the child. As you know, Your Honor, state has no interest in name change, conservatorship, or visitation. As for retroactive child support, Your Honor, state will defer to you on that. I haven't calculated it yet. As for the amounts of current child support and current medical support, Your Honor, I have calculated for current medical support to be $28 per month, based off of the minimum wage.
South Carolina?
Correct, Your Honor. That part wouldn't be affected by the income tax, and that's next what I'll be getting to. Is that a brief overview of South Carolina's income tax? It appears that for 2025, and based off minimum wage, we'd be looking at the married filing jointly rate of 3%. So based off that 3% and giving them credit for the $28 for the cash medical, and giving them credit also for one child inside this case and one child outside, the state calculates current child support to be $191 per month. As for the dates of when starting, Your Honor, I believe Ms. Mack wanted it to start the first day after service. State will defer to you on when exactly they would start. I'll see if I can try to find the tax for 2023. It takes a while, Your Honor. So the state will defer on when exactly that would start. I believe that's it, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Mack, at this time, do you wish to make a closing statement or closing argument? Keeping in mind, ma'am, I'm probably looking at making this attempt because I'm getting ready to give the 15-year-old a lawyer, an attorney / guardian ad litem, because I'm not going to, because if it was only attorney ad litem, the 16-year-old could tell the lawyer what to do, and we don't do that. So with that in mind, ma'am, that we're going to probably come back and take care of a couple of things. Do you wish to make a closing statement at this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
I would like to say that I never asked him for stuff from my other child after I found out that he was not the father of her child. I have been taking care of my kids for 15 years, going on 16 years. My kids are almost about to graduate in 2 more years. They're about to be grown. Nala wants to go into Air Force, and Naja wants to go to college. I just want to say Nala is the one who can make the decision. She's 16 years old. If she wants to see him, she can see him. It's her decision. I can't make that decision no more, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, folks, I'm getting ready to take this one under advisement somewhat. First off, Mr. Tanaka, I'm going to deny that tax thing. You know, that's above my pay grade, and yeah, we're not going to. So I'm not going to order 50-50 splitting of the tax rights to the child. That's just not going to happen at this point, especially since the father's not even working at this point. So, but again, that's not something I have the authority to do under a court order. They can do it voluntarily, but it cannot be court ordered. So that is the one request I'm going to deny up front. But for right now, I'm going to take everything else under advisement. I'm going to go ahead and appoint Ms. Lambert to be the attorney/guardian ad litem to contact the child to get her input on how she wants to handle some of this one way or the other. Still, it's left up to the court. And if she wants to come in and talk to me, the ad litem will let me know. If she wants to come in and talk to me in private chambers with the ad litem, I'll grant that. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and take this under advisement, except for right now, I'm going to go ahead and order, I'm going to temporarily order the parties to be joint managing conservators, giving mom the exclusive right to decide domicile. I'm not going to restrict that, right? Dad lives in South Carolina, so he can live anywhere she wishes to going forward. And that's also, I'm going to go ahead and make that part of the court order. I'm going to go ahead and order temporary child support based on the minimum wage presumption for South Carolina, which is the same as the state of Texas. And that starts the first day of May 2025. The child support amount and the cash medical amount is requested by the state. I'm going to hold in abeyance of finding on what the retro should be and going forward and the start date based on the circumstances. But I'm going to hold that in abeyance until the final order of this court. Mr. Tanaka, you need to sit down with your client. Sounds like to me this gentleman should have been trying to get Social Security disability for years and has not. So I'm seriously looking at going I'm definitely looking at going back at least as far as the date of service for the child support to start. And I'm probably looking at going about four years above and beyond that, sir, in accordance with Texas law. I can go back that far. Because I've heard enough information that obviously he knew that she was pregnant, the child was there, and this is his child, and now he knows his child is his, and that's his financial responsibility. So the bottom line is, I'm not sure why he hasn't done what he possibly could have done. That's left there. It's his life, so it's his life. But the bottom line is he might want to look at this going forward because, and you can tell him about Social Security lump sums, payment to kids, that sort of thing, because again, that's something he may be looking at going forward here, sir. But again, that's still left up to him, but I'm trying to give him a heads up on that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is set this up to give the ad litem some time to talk to the girls. This time of year is tough. Everybody's getting ready to, we got Easter coming up and finals. At least I don't have to worry about junior prom and senior prom because I think they're both sophomores. The child's a sophomore in this.
Excuse me, Your Honor, may I speak?
No, sir, you may not. I'm not trying to be facetious and mean, but you have a lawyer. If you want to talk to your lawyer before we go off the record, I'll allow you and your lawyer to go into a breakout room and talk, and he can come back and tell me what you need to do to convey your information, sir.
Thank you.
At this time, that's going to be the temporary order of the court. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get ready to go off the record. I'm going to look at a date for a reset. So, Mr. Tanaka, bring out your calendar, and I'm going to do a Zoom code, same deal. And I'm going to give this a good 60 days out to give the ad litem the opportunity to talk to the 15-year-olds don't like being called children, but she's still under the law. That's what she is. So I'm going to be looking at a date 60 days out to give the ad litem the opportunity to talk to her client and her ward, which is technically both. So let me look at some dates, and ma'am, I'll have you check your calendar. It's going to be after school's out, so hopefully that won't be a major problem. But I'm going to look at sometime in June to come back and finalize all this. And let's see, the day is the 9th, so I'm looking at that first couple of weeks of June. Wow, I can't believe I got that many cases already set now.
Your Honor, may I speak? I work in June. I work summer school in June, but you can schedule it and I can take off. It's
All right,
whatever.
but here's the deal, man. Summer school still a morning thing or just a morning thing
It'll
these
be a
days?
morning to like 2:30. It'll be
Okay.
from morning. And it's only 4 days out of the week. So it's just gonna
Okay,
be
so
4
it's
weeks.
all right, and it's Friday is it Monday through Thursday or Tuesday through Friday? What's the 4 days?
It's Monday through Thursday.
All right then. So I'm actually looking at some time on the okay, I got my San Saba. Okay, is that really a San Saba day? Okay, San Saba is March, May, June. Okay, that's not really okay. I do have some time, Mr. Tanaka, on June the 13th, which is a Friday, and June the 20th, which is a Friday. I got morning and afternoons available both those time frames. I usually do when I do Fridays, I do 10:30 or 1:30 in the afternoon. Do either of those days work for your schedule, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. 1:30 on June 13th, the Friday works good for me.
All right, good enough. Then I'll move this Zoom code to that. And you said 1:30, sir?
Yes, Your Honor,
Okay,
that'd be perfect. Thank
I'll
you.
move the same Zoom code to that time frame. But for
Okay.
right now, I'm going to go off the record. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going off the record. Then I'm going to go ahead and open up a couple of breakout rooms. Open up a breakout room.
Oh, Your Honor, I can
Yes,
probably
sir.
just give him a call after if you want it, if we're done here.
No, I
Oh.
would like you to tell Your Honor something.
All right, then.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and put you in a breakout room. I'm going to open all the rooms. I'm going to go ahead and assign him and make you a co-host, sir, so you can move around, but I'm also going to assign you so you can move him out when you need to. But I'm going to put both of y'all in room number 1, and we'll wait for y'all to get through here. All right, we're now back on the record. Mr. Tanaka's back in the main room with his client. Is there anything your client wanted you to make as another closing statement, sir, or a question that he needed you to ask him?
Yes, Your Honor, really just a brief request, sort of like a temporary injunction, I guess, on both parties. He's really just asking that neither parent be permitted to disparage the other parent when they're with the child. I think it's already kind of covered under the standing orders, but if you could just also just verbally instruct both parties, that would be appreciated.
All right, then what I'll go ahead and do is make sure the state on the reset order for this matter sends a copy of the standing order for Bell County on this matter. That standing order is enforceable, folks. It says y'all both are not allowed to speak disparagingly of each other or do anything that's going to harm the any assets or anything. So that's not going to take place. But in other words, it's going to say when you're with the child or talking to the child, don't discuss this. Okay. Don't despair. Don't try to take down the other person. And of course, Mr. Tanaka, the ad litem will be in contact with you and to talk to Mr. Rodriguez. Miss Mack, I'm going to need your permission to have the state put your contact information in the reset or give the ad litem your personal contact information. In other words, your phone number and your email to set up the appointment with the child. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any problem with that, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Please keep it in mind, and Miss Mack and Mr. Rodriguez, the child, the ad litem doesn't represent either you, just the child, and she's also what's called an attorney ad litem and a guardian ad litem. In other words, the 15-year-old can tell her certain things that she would like to happen, but as the guardian, she's only going to do what's in the child's best interest. Sometimes, let's face it, when you're 15 and 16 years old, you do things that are not really good for you. Okay. So, but anyway, with that in mind, though, I just want to let y'all know that. And anyways, like I said, sir, Mr. Rodriguez, the ad litem will go through your attorney to get in contact with you. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, folks, we're officially off the record. And again, you'll get a copy of the reset order. The standing order is going to be on there. And I'm going to go ahead and reset this matter to that. Looks like we're coming back on Friday the 13th at 1:30 p.m. Same Zoom code. If there is a problem with the ad litem on that date, and I think she should be able to work around that for 60 days in advance. But just in case, if there needs to be a change, she'll let us know. But for right now, that's the date we're going to go with. Thank both of you both very much, and we're officially off the record at this time. I think Mr. Welch is biting at the bit to say something else. Mr. Welch, anything else, sir?
Oh yes, Your Honor. I just wanted just two clarifications.
Yes, sir.
So first thing, Your Honor, are you also ordering the cash medical, cash medical based
Oh,
on
yeah,
the minimum
no,
wage?
both child, cash medical, dental, and child support are on a temporary basis are ordered to start the first day of May.
And then, Your Honor, I did make a request about Mr. Rodriguez giving us income
Okay.
information.
All right, Mr. Tanaka, the state did originally serve Mr. Rodriguez with a request for discovery. That included income tax returns for the last 2 years. I'll go ahead and since we're going to be doing this more than 30 days out, you do have 30 days to have him comply with that discovery request, sir. Thank you.
Okay, yes, Your Honor. The past 2 returns, Mr. Welch, income tax
I
returns?
believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, 2024 and I mean, yeah.
He was actually served 2 years ago, but for these circumstances, sir, have you already filed? You and your wife already filed for 2024?
Yes, sir.
All right, so 2024 and 2023, Mr. Tanaka. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll get those over to you.
All right, thank you very much. All right, everybody, be safe out there and take care. And I'll see everybody when it's going to be a little warmer in Texas. Okay, thank you.
Yes,
All
Your
right.
Honor. May be excused.
Oh, and
Yes, you may. And again,
Oh.
we're off the record. I'm sorry, you got something else, Mr. Welch? That was 2 things. So what's next?
Yes, yes, Your Honor. I put those 2 together in my mind. So Mr. Tanaka, Ms. Mack, I'm going to send you all a temporary order through DocuSign. It will have everything the judge ordered and then reset the case along with the appointment. If y'all could just sign and then that's it.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Welch. Will do.
All right, thank y'all. Okay.
All right.
Thank you,
May
Your
be
Honor.
excused again, Your Honor.
Yes, you may.
All
Thank you.
right. Thank you. Bye-bye.